Good morning. This is Patricia McGrill. Welcome to the Cullman County Republican Party Forum. Today's forum will include Alabama House District 11 Republican candidates Danny Aldridge, Mike Graves, Lydia Haynes, Randall Shedd. This forum will be moderated by Ron Mosley from WKUL radio station located here in Cullman. The vote for this primary will be next Tuesday, February the 12th. The candidates drew to determine the order of questioning and will be allowed 2 minutes for all questions with no rebuttal. This forum is sponsored by the Cullman County Republican Party and is solely responsible for its content. And now, I would like to turn this forum over to our moderator, Ron Mosley.
Thank you. I guess it works if you turn the microphone on, isn't it? I was telling these folks up here, this must be a Baptist organization simply because we had prayer, we ate, and then we passed the offering plate. And then we've been chewed on a little bit, and now then we're going to get to the meat of the substance here, okay? So, but anyway, each candidate will have 2 minutes for the opening remark, and they drew lots. We cast lots back in the back there, Gary. And I'll thank you. Randall Shedd will speak first, followed by Mr. Graves, Mr. Aldridge, and then Mrs. Haynes. And somebody said, Cataly back there a minute ago said, Lydia's the prettiest one of them all. I said, I've never seen a pretty man. I never want to see a pretty man, okay? But anyway, we'll get out of the way right now, and thank you for your patience and for your endeavors. We have 4 questions, but the opening remarks starts right now. Randall?
I'm Randall Shedd. I thank you, the Cullman County Republican Party and WKUL for having us today. Judge Cheney, welcome to our party.
Amen.
As this campaign comes to a close, I want to thank everyone who has helped us in our campaign. The response to our message has been tremendous and very humbling to me. The calls for yard signs, the telephone calls of encouragement, those who tell us that they're praying for us, the donations to the campaign, small and large, it's just been amazing. My family, my goodness, how they've all worked, and I want to thank them. To my opponents that have conducted clean, positive campaigns, I thank you for that. Rather than talk about my opponents, I told you from the beginning what I wanted to do in Montgomery, not what my opponents did or didn't do. One of the fondest memories of my life was coaching youth sports when my 7- and 8-year-old baseball team won the Dizzy Dean Championship, first place, and won the sportsmanship trophy at the same time. I was very proud of that. I believe in sportsmanship, dignity, and respect, and I taught that to my little baseball team. I also taught them that when you are playing in a competition, when the other team is mean, plays dirty and unfair, and tries to intimidate you, you got to stand up to them. Therefore, I've got to call timeout and set the record straight. Lydia, your negative campaigning has crossed the line. This mail out that you sent out that says I tried to sell Wallace State College is simply untrue. Simply untrue. This brochure is not politics, it's slander. You not only attacked me, you attacked a great statesman of our community, Dr. James C. Bailey. Thank you.
My name is Mike Graves. I'm running for the House of Representatives, District 11. I also want to thank WKUL and the Republican Party for this opportunity to have this debate this morning. And I want to thank all the friends and relatives that I've had in this campaign. It's been wonderful to see their faces in the Republican Party, how they've welcomed me and friended me in this campaign. You know, we can sit back and talk about things in the past, but we need to talk about the future of our state and where it's headed. We've got to get a hold of some things that's coming down from Washington, D.C. that could affect our seniors all the way to our youth. And if we don't stand up now with the leadership we have in Montgomery to work some of these things, our future's not going to look good. But I want to thank you once again, and I want to thank you for your vote on February the 12th, and God bless you.
My name is Danny Aldridge, and I'm running for the House of Representatives, District 11. And I do thank you for the opportunity to come here today and to speak to you. I thank you for the comments and the support that you've given me throughout this race. And I thank my fellow candidates here. But I thank my wife, Vicki, my wife of 38 years, who has been my primary support. This morning we also have my son and grandson here today, and my brother-in-law. And I'm so thankful for them. They've been very, very supportive of me. And over the last 40 years, I've been associated with Cullman County Schools, and I have been able to build relationships there. And those relationships with people, those relationships with industry, with the farmers in the community, those relationships are what's kept me going throughout this 40 years that I've been with the Cullman County school system. This county has been good to me. Education has been good to me. But I don't want to just go there to represent education. I want to go there and represent our farmers. I want to go there and represent our education people. I want to go there and represent industry. I want to go there and represent our local governments and businesses, our local governments and our municipalities. And I'm so thankful for that we live in a state where we're able to vote for people. And this is not about me. This is about who will represent you best. And I think over the years, when I have been able to build relationships, that will help me to build relationships with our local legislative delegation. And I thank you for this opportunity.
Good morning, I'm Lydia Haynes, and I'm a candidate for House District 11. I feel like I'm truly, uniquely the most qualified candidate to represent this district. I am a woman, and I'm a true conservative, and I have been a Republican all my adult life. I believe in truth and accountability in government and accountability for the decisions that you make, past and present, and I know I will be held accountable for those. I'm the only candidate from the world of business. I am pro-business, and I have started businesses and created jobs, and I've been responsible for employees and budgets and benefits and bottom lines. As a medical provider, and from having served 8 years on the State Health Coordinating Council, I know firsthand and understand the Medicare, the Medicaid, and the health care crisis facing our citizens. I'm not a teacher, but I've been involved in vocational education from the high school all the way through the junior college level and the postgraduate level. I am a strong supporter of the junior college system, and for 19 years I gave back to my community in 3 counties by supplying free health care at no cost to children from the 7th grade up through the junior college level. And as a farming partner, I'm the only candidate that is an advocate for the #1 industry in District 11, agriculture. If I'm elected, I will do my best to protect and improve the lives of the citizens of District 11, and I just want to be the representative that you deserve. I sincerely ask for your vote and your support and your prayers during the last few days of this campaign. Thank you very much.
Our questions were comprised of we listened, and we put our ears to the grindstone and said, okay, what questions do we need to ask? And these are the questions that are concerning. We feel we got 25 questions here. I come in here and they say, you got 4 questions. I said, I've been out for 2 weeks talking to people. What are some of the questions? What are some of your issues? And then I say, we got 4. So we got to put them in a hat and drew them out, and Johnny and I came up with 4 of the questions, and we'll just can the other 21 of them. But anyway, Johnny, you got the first question, and all 4 candidates will answer.
Good morning, candidates. First question of the day is, there has been negative talk about gun control. What are your feelings about this serious issue?
The Second Amendment right, I think we should honor and uphold it. I'm one of the candidates that spoke out this week saying that we need to do something with guns in the hands of people who are mentally ill, and giving law enforcement the right to, if they come across a person they feel like is unstable, that they can remove those weapons until they were evaluated. But that's the only concern I would say about gun control that I would change from the state laws Alabama has today. I support the Second Amendment right to bear arms. Thank you.
I also support the Second Amendment rights, and I am opposed to any further control of guns and the right to bear arms in our homes, the protection of our homes. And, you know, I realize that one of the reasons for the Second Amendment was that we could stand and bear arms against a tyrannical government. And I am opposed to any regulation, any restriction on our gun laws. I realize there are problems, and I've been in and around education for all these years. I realize there are situations, but I am opposed to the restriction of any gun laws on our citizens.
It's been it's a little over 10 years that someone tried to abduct me one day while I was jogging behind the hospital with a shotgun, 16-gauge shotgun. I knew what it was. Because I knew the gun, I felt like I could fight him, and I did. I fought him off. But that gun wouldn't have been under gun control. It was a shotgun. I strongly support our Second Amendment rights. Gerald Dowell introduced a bill this week that would protect, we have to define our state rights, and it would protect us from any international treaty that the United States government might form with a foreign government. Well, you think, gosh, you know, how could that be? But this is a White House that this week started giving $1.5 billion to the Muslim Brotherhood President Morsi of Egypt. They are giving them 200 Abrams tanks that no doubt they will line up on the border with Israel, and they are giving them F-16 fighters. To stabilize the Middle East, we have to get to the Persian Gulf, and we have to go through the Suez Canal to do it, and we have to go through Egypt to do it. That's the White House that is trying through 23 executive orders to take our gun rights away. I don't trust this White House, and I don't trust anything that Joe Biden and President Obama are going around the country talking about taking our gun rights away. Thank you.
I'm Randall Shedd, and I had on my website the very first day of the campaign, when our website went on, to support the right to protect ourselves, Second Amendment rights. And it's very, very important to us to maintain that now more than ever. We deserve, as citizens of America, to be able to protect our families, to be able to protect ourselves, protect our families. And there may come a time when we all need these weapons to protect our country or our communities. I tell you, there's some areas across America that the communities in America are under siege by the wrong element of folks. So if there ever was a time we need to have the right to bear arms, it's certainly today in America. And as I said also on the website, you know, it's a sad situation, some of the things we've seen across our country. But these folks took airplanes, jet airplanes, and used them, American jet airplanes, as weapons on 9/11. So we can't outlaw jet airplanes in America. And I don't think that there's any way that we should or could outlaw any of our guns so that we have a right to protect ourselves and our families.
You're listening to the Cullman County Republican Forum. With us, Republican candidates from Alabama House District 11. The vote for this primary will be next Tuesday, the 12th. The most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government, I'm here to help." Republican President Ronald Reagan. The Republican Party believes that people should have power over government, that government should represent an individual, not a special interest group, that lower taxes breed a stronger economy, that government shall reduce government spending. Republicans believe in a free enterprise system. We believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. We are pro-life. Republicans believe in a stronger military which follows the philosophy peace and freedom through strength. We believe in the Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. If you believe in these ideals and principles, we want you to join us. The Cullman County Republican Party meets the first Saturday of each month at the Cullman Elks Lodge. Please join us for breakfast served at 7:30 a.m., followed by a meeting. Now, back to Ron Mosley.
We have great schools in District 11, not to mention the high schools and the career centers and VOTEC and of course Wallace State. Wallace State has partnered with Athens State. Is that a good choice, or should it move forward and look for a major university to partner with down the road?
Thank you for that question. We do have exceptional schools here in our K-12 schools. We are, I think we're getting the best bang for the buck that you could find in our local area here in Cullman County and Morgan County and Blount County. We have excellent schools here. To address the colleges, I think we have this dual enrollment that is wonderful for our students to kind of get ahead. I am supportive of Wallace State, fully supportive of Wallace State, and I kind of like the arrangement that we have where we have a four-year college that has some classes there, and where we have a consortium there working with Wallace State. We are so blessed that our students and our high school students are able to move so fluidly from one level to another level through dual enrollment, through the articulation agreements that we have with Career Tech and the Wallace State. We have from the Career Tech program, we have a number of students who articulate credits and get ahead of the game. I know a young lady who got her nursing, passed her nursing board, state nursing board, before she graduated high school. Those are things that will help us. And I realize that there are some things that we can do in virtual education where we don't even have a teacher on site, but we do it through virtual education in our college courses. And I'm so thankful, and we're privileged to have that right here in Cullman County. That's a blessing to us all. Thank you.
Well, there's some really good things going on in the state right now, and I don't know how many of y'all watched Governor Bentley's State of the State address the other night. Number one, the College and Career Ready Task Force, where businessmen, industrialists, and farmers, the world of agriculture, are meeting with educators and outlining the needs that college and high school graduates will need, the skills they'll have, will need to have an opportunity to walk into these jobs. I was excited to hear Governor Bentley talk about that. And then Representative Buttram has introduced a bill, and it's the 21st Century Workforce Act. And it's where we can sell bonds to upgrade all of our technology and a lot of education requirements in our junior college level. And that's real exciting. I was in a meeting a few days ago with Frank Barnes, who's over, I guess, all the grounds and buildings of the post-secondary education system. And what he said just hit so home with me. 44% of every student, not young, but every student that gets a 4-year degree in Alabama does part of their work at the junior college level. And that's huge. So we have nearly half of people who get a BS or BA degree go through a junior college. And then I'm very supportive of the technical jobs. I have 4 people that work for me today that are Wallace State graduates.
I think the arrangement, back to your question, that we have right now with Athens State University being on campus at Wallace State College in Hansville is a great situation. But it didn't just happen, The college at Wallace State came about because a lot of people worked very hard to get it to be what it is today. And we're very fortunate in our community to have the college at Wallace State. And I commend Dr. Bailey, Dr. Vicki Hossey, and all of the people that's worked hard. There's a number of people that worked with us side by side to get Wallace State College to be what it is, including Charles Glover, that many of you remember, and a lot of other people. So what we worked on was to have the other element that was missing at Wallace State. We have great technical programs at Wallace State and dual enrollment with our high schools that allowed my son to go to college with 1 year of college after that he got in high school in his senior year. So these are great things, and we're very fortunate in our community. As we pressed those of our state to try to let us have the other element at Wallace State that we didn't have, and that was the bachelor degrees and the four-year college that we didn't have. Finally, one day in a State Board of Education meeting, Bradley Byrne, who was on the state board at that time, said, "Why don't we put Athens State University on Wallace State's campus?" And it was a good idea, and I was proud to hear them finally come to terms that our part of North Alabama deserved to have, and the students in our area deserve to have that same opportunity. Thank you.
I do favor, as these other candidates, keeping Wallace State like it is, and let me tell you one of the reasons why I do favor that is because of cost. One thing we have to remember is what the cost of higher education to our children is coming out of school. This morning I was stopped at the service station on my way up here, and I seen a gentleman I'd known for years and asked him how his son was doing. He said, well, he's back from college and he's working just down here down the road in one of our manufacturing facilities. And I said, well, I was hoping to see him back again in the fire service with us to help us out. And he said, well, he's working a full-time job and going back to school again. And I said, really? He said, yeah. He said, because the degree he has gotten at the four-year school, he can't find a job for it. So he's going back to Wallace State in the career side to find that job. So to keep costs down and for our children and other people to get a degree to seek employment, I think we need to leave Wallace State the way it is and not seek anything further.